Good afternoon, ladies and gents, and we are in Rye Town, and we're going to be having a little tour of Rye Church, the Church of St Mary's in Rye, in a minute. But what you're looking at here is Fletcher's house. The ancient vicarage of John Fletcher was born in 1579, Jacobean dramatist, collaborator with Beaumont, Shakespeare and Massinger. So that's his home here. It's an ancient vicarage. It's Fletcher's house. It's a little restaurant thing now, so I can't show you too much of it like that because there's people in there, but yes, I quite agree. There's some lovely buildings surrounding the church as well, anyway, just on their own. But yeah, there's Fletcher's house. You can see it better now without filming people. And we are going to do the outside of the church. Now, once the merging is done, you'll be watching the outside first and the inside last. But in my usual fashion, I did the inside first and filmed the outside after, because it always gives you more time to go and do something else. When the church closes, the churchyard doesn't, so you can film this anytime. I'm afraid there's some work going on at the moment here, so you can't go through this way that I used to go through, but you can still get into the churchyard and that, so it's okay. Now, I've already been in the church and filmed in there and been up the top of the church tower, which only costs £4, and I think it's very good value for money if you're not afraid of heights. It is very, very high up. I'm not too bad with heights, but I know some people don't like them. Yeah, you get really good panoramic views of the whole of Rye and far beyond. Could see right over with this new phone and the zoom in on it. You could see right over to the Mary Stanford lifeboat house, all the way from the top of the church tower, which was nice. Oops. Danger, keep off. Falling masonry. That's either dodgy gravestones or falling masonry that's been work from done up there. This one here is what's called a double stone. And as you can see, the stained glass from the outside doesn't look that much, but when inside, you'll be quite surprised. And you've got another little chapel type thing over there. This is the exit at the moment, but that's as may be, as they say. This used to be one of the, in medieval times, this was the door into the church. And like in Barking, that's got a paw door, this was the paw door here, where you'd go for the dole, or paw relief. This stone marks the probable site of the old cross used for mayoral elections between 1239 and 1602, each Sunday next after the feast of St Bartholomew, which is on the 24th of August. So yeah, get some nice history. Oh, that's a bit clearer now. That's better. Yeah, it's a lovely church. And when I was here in May, I was standing there and listening to the organ being played, which was very nice. Very nice indeed. I don't know if they've suffered vandalism here or it's just a genuine accident, but I've noticed quite a few stones are over. That one looks as though it's been broken and or in the process of being broken. That's got a big scratch along it. Sometimes the mowers, when they come along, are not that careful, because most churchyards are mown by the council now, looked after by the local council, rather than sextons and church wardens and how it was years ago. Years ago, as you will see on the inside of the church when we get to that bit, in the little museum area, is a sheep's bell that they found in the churchyard, because in the old days, when they didn't have lawnmowers, the sheep were the lawnmowers, and these are called flying buttresses for anyone that doesn't know. This is the First World War Memorial Cross, and the gentleman that designed this sword that's on there, he's mock-up design, or whatever you want to call it, prototype, which is much smaller than that, is in the castle over there, in Rye Castle. So I have done Rye Castle before, but my page numbers keep going up and up every time since I've been here, so let me know in the comments section if you want me to do Rye Castle. If not, you can scroll back about 4 months or so through the page and you'll find Rye Castle. Not as great technology as the last time though, because I've got a different phone now. This stone here, body of Edward Wren, and that's all that can be seen of that. When I first came here, which was in 2008, the writing was much more visible, but this being a seaside town, it's sort a lot of salt in the air, damages the stones, you see. This is the old town well or water system, bear in mind, we'll see that more in a minute. And this takes us back round to where we were at the front, so we'll go back round this way and I'll show you the water system, and then that will end our little exterior tour. I'm going to cross on the grass because I've got my umbrella looped through my rucksack, and I have a terrible suspicion if I go through those two cars you'll hear, and I don't quite want that to happen, you see. Right, I'm just going to pause you a minute. Had to pause you a minute. There were plenty people, plenty. These old cobblestones, they look very picturesque, but they are not picturesque on the soles of your feet or your ankles. They ache. And if we hear anyone or see anyone waving at the church, I don't know if you can see it from here, shouting or waving from the church tower, that's Simondo and Rob. Let's cross over to the other side. I feel safer there. So this car go by. And here we are at the Old Town water system, or cistern rather. It's got the measuring gauge thing still on it. I'll zoom you in on that. So we are empty more or less at the moment. Oh, that's a shame. I was thirsty as well. That would have meant bad news for the town in those days. That's after that drought, isn't it? Because this thing still does work. And here is the history thereof. The Borough of Rye, extract from the records of preference to the water tower in Rye. This is what this is called. In Rye Churchyard. From the Duke of Devonshire's papers at Compton Place, Eastbourne. 1733. Well, you can read this, can't you? There we are. And here is the old pump for it and everything. RC 1826. That's RC 1826. It's still got little urns on it and whatnot on that. It's brilliant, this. Obviously the handle's been disabled long ago, but you would have pumped that up and down and out would have come water. Right, okay guys and girls, I shall end you there for that one. Hope you all enjoy what you're going to see inside the church. And join me inside the church now. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are in St Mary's Church in Rye. And that is the pendulum for the clock. This is all to do with the clock here, and when it was restored, this is one of the old hands from the clock. Original minute hand from the church clock, damaged during the Great Storm of 1987 and Great Storms of 1987 and 1990, replaced in 1991. Those lights always do that. The Geneva Bible. published by the printers of Queen Elizabeth I and James I between 1560 and 1616. Ah, this phone stops it from doing that. So I approve. Rye Castle Museum, that's another interesting place. I've done that one before. I may do it again because I've got this phone with the much better zoom now, so. And this is an impressive. This is much better. Model of the church, 1870. Made by Mr. G. Sherwood, 1875. Given by Mr. L. H. Boreham. But look at the detail that's gone into that. Look. And it is an exact replica of the church. Stone cannonballs. Many battles were fought in Rye Bay, which could have led to these cannonballs landing in the churchyard. The south chancel was also divided from the main chancel and used as a storehouse for arms and armaments from 1586 onwards, preparing for the Armada. And the town itself of Rye was sacked in 1428 or 29 by the French. They burned much of the town. This is brilliant with this phone. I'm well happy with this because last time I had to walk up to all the descriptions and it took much longer. Well, ain't that just real fine and pretty? Edward Haswell. The Lord's Prayer. Century copy of the font in Newenden Church. Show you the spectacular Norman arches while it's quiet. in every Church of England church, the Royal Arms. Have the, oops, sorry about that, zoom you out, the 10 Commandments, 18th century, and another lovely stained glass window. Oops. Hey, look at them cobwebs. And this is the painting that creeps all the little children, all the kids out. Kids don't like this one. And I can see why. St. Veronica's handkerchief. God, my head looks well shiny. Gosh, how horrid. It's usually covered up, and this is where the Mayor of Rye will sit during services. Memory of William Thompson, Rector, Christchurch, Rye.
Yeah, no, it's especially me because I get to start at 7:30.
Anyone that wants to hear the organ playing, zip back to around about May on my page, and you'll hear the bells being chimed and the organ being played. And this big long stick there is what they get the pendulum going with if need be. The old Victorian floor tiles. But yeah, this is the organ. Sorry, umbrella's gone a bit of a wry. Gone a bit awry. Choir stalls. More burials. It's 2 o'clock. The church tower is another really impressive one, which is, it'll be a separate video, and that's got anyone that likes clocks, you'll not be disappointed with that one. That's the 900th anniversary banner, and of course the window is pretty self-explanatory. This is a beautiful church. Very big, very impressive, because this was a rich town. So all the rich towns had the biggest churches. Well, not always, but they tended to. Rich people like to show off even with their churches. Kneelers at the chancel, Terrell. Just pause to read descriptions. He lies buried Anne Wickford. Anne Wick. Oh, hang on. Sorry, here lies buried Anne, widow of Robert Francis of Lambeth. And she died in June 29, 1704, aged 84 years. This is one of the oldest ones. This is medieval, this one here. It was attacked quite badly in the Reformation because it was full of Catholic symbolisms. So hence why a lot of the things are gone from it, unfortunately. Anyway, the Chapel of St. Clair. And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes the tour of the inside of the church. Next part of the video, which will be a separate one, will be the church tower. So join me for that when it goes on. Take care, see you all soon. Hope you all found this interesting. If you did, please give it a like and a share.
Yeah, so